Ahead on 12 News Weekend, a problem facing some higher-end restaurants.
There's a fight for cooks, you know. There's only so many chefs that have the amount of experience that you need.
Plus 20,000 and counting. We visit Maple Grove Hospital for a milestone celebration. But first, a plan in the Wayzata district to change school start times. How it could affect students in all grade levels. 12 News Weekend starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on 12 News Weekend. In the next couple of months, the Wayzata School Board could decide whether to change school start times.
It would affect elementary students on up through high school. Any changes wouldn't take effect until the 2016-2017 school year. There are three options under consideration. The one preferred by the superintendent would bump up start times for elementary students, while middle and high school students would start classes later.
There's been a lot of research that's come out in recent years that suggests that high school age students might fare better if they started later. And for those who have been around younger children, elementary age children and preschool age children, they're probably well aware that they're wired a little bit differently and ready to go earlier.
Most of the elementary schools in the Wayzata district start at around 9 a.m. Under the superintendent's preferred proposal, the start time would change to 7:30. Meanwhile, high school students currently start classes at 7:30, and the new plan would change that to 8:20. Some parents have raised concerns about how a later start time would impact practice schedules for high school sports, but the superintendent says the addition of new athletic facilities should ease some of the burden. Attending games, however, is another matter.
It's possible some of our students involved in activities may have to leave school a little bit early to get on the bus and get to the other communities to play in these athletic contests. But we think that there are ways to deal with that.
The other options are to keep start times as is, or a hybrid plan that mixes current start times with the superintendent's preferred option. Parents can weigh in on the options in September, and you can check them out on our website. That's 12.tv.
A big increase in school lunch debt is forcing the Anoka-Hennepin School District to take action to recoup money from unpaid lunches. Anoka-Hennepin currently has a debt of $160,000 due to families that haven't paid for their children's lunches. These are families that don't qualify for free and reduced lunch. In the most severe case, one family owes $4,600. The district sends out messages to families once a student's account goes negative, but the district is considering sending families to a collection agency if the debt reaches more than $100 and the family ignores messages.
We've really gotten no response from some families, and the debt has grown quite high in some cases. And so what we're looking to do is have some sort of consequence if this keeps being ignored, really.
Any change in school lunch policy wouldn't go into effect until January. The Anoka-Hennepin School Board could make a decision on the issue September 28th. Robbinsdale restaurant Pig Ate My Pizza received national attention when Time magazine ranked it as one of the top 10 pizza places in the nation.
But even a little recognition hasn't shielded it from one of the biggest problems facing the restaurant industry today. Here's Delane Cleveland to explain.
For the past 2 years, Pig Ate My Pizza has been serving up classic pies along with unorthodox options you won't find at most pizza places.
They do really well with the public right now. I mean, people really enjoy coming into our places, and I think it's because we are consistent with the product that we're giving them.
Chef and part owner Mike Brown says to keep the consistency going, they'll only be open 4 days a week instead of 5 starting next week. His other restaurant, Travail, already has that schedule.
We aren't quite able right now to staff the entire restaurant to a point where we feel like we're not overexerting the people that we already have.
The restaurant has tried to recruit new chefs and cooks via Facebook without much success. That's thanks in part to the explosion of new Twin Cities restaurants.
There's a fight for cooks, you know. There's only so many chefs that have the amount of experience that you need to actually jump into the kitchen and learn your program.
That's part of the other program that we do here to prepare you.
One place where people are trying to get that experience is at Hennepin Technical College.
I get calls during the semester a couple times a week. People call and ask for help.
David Eisenreich is an instructor for the culinary program.
$1.33.
In addition to teaching the basics, he tries to tell students about how demanding the industry can be.
You really have to have a passion for it. It's nights, weekends sometimes. It's on your feet. and you may not have your own television show. It's likely that you won't.
Passion and a desire to learn are two qualities they're looking for in job candidates at Pig Ate My Pizza and Travail. Unfortunately, finding those candidates has been a travail in and of itself.
It's becoming kind of hard to sell that to people because for some reason it's not what they're driven for. They don't want that, you know.
In Robbinsdale, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Pig Ate My Pizza would ideally like to hire 4 new people. The managers say even though they're reducing their days of operation, the wages will still stay the same.
Brooklyn Park is planning for a big fix. Nearly 80% of city streets are in the need of repair, and the question is how to pay for it. The city must fix streets that are deteriorating prematurely. The problem is blamed on an old asphalt mix supplied by the state. The estimated price tag is $35 million. To pay for it, city officials say most residents favor a franchise fee on gas and electric bills. It would cost residents about $14 a month. However, there are questions in how to accommodate people on fixed incomes.
With the $14 a month, I don't have an issue with it, but we have people that are on fixed income, low income, that this could make a difference between bread, milk, and medicine for those people.
Councilmember Terry Parks wants a sunset clause so residents aren't paying a monthly fee after the project is done.
In our Week in Review, a construction project that ended up polluting a Robbinsdale lake is slowly getting cleaned up. Homeowners along Lower Twin Lake noticed a gray, gooey substance near the shoreline. Turns out the powdery debris came from a water main project on County Road 9. Grout had washed into the storm sewer system and made its way into the lake after a recent heavy rainfall. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency tested the water and determined the spill would not hurt aquatic life. In Osseo, the city celebrated the opening of brand new downtown apartments. Phase 2 of the new 5 Central apartments recently opened. It provides another 70 units ranging from studios to 3-bedroom apartments. The project has gone over well. 5 Central is about 92% leased. The city of Plymouth has given preliminary approval to a new housing development near the Medina border. The project along Brockton Lane would add 64 villa-style homes ranging in price from $400,000 to nearly $600,000. In August, Plymouth had the most permits for home building in the Twin Cities. Coming up on 12 News Weekend, many smiles at Maple Grove Hospital. We'll show you why.
And then later in sports, Providence Academy's football team settles into a new home with an impressive performance.
But first, the hot weather isn't leaving us yet. Monday, temperatures rise, and so do the dew points. Maple Grove Hospital marked a big milestone this week.
Cassie Bonstrom reports on how the tiniest patients are helping the hospital break records.
He's only a few hours old.
He was born at roughly 11:15 today.
But little Ace Michael is already #1 in his daddy's eyes.
My firstborn son, yeah, Ace Michael. Yep.
For Maple Grove Hospital, though, he's number 20,080. That's right, more than 20,000 babies have been delivered at the hospital in its first 5.5 years. It's a milestone they're not letting pass without a party.
It's pretty remarkable, 20,000 babies.
Staff gathered outside Tuesday for roasted corn, cupcakes, and music to celebrate. Ironically, most of the birth center nurses couldn't be there to partake. They were too busy, of course, delivering babies.
Our average is between 8 to 12 babies. Right now it's quite busy, so we probably have like 14, 15 babies.
Registered nurse Nia Lee has worked in the unit since the hospital opened in 2009.
When we first opened, we had 6 labor rooms.
She's seen it grow to 3 floors and become a level 3 NICU. She also happens to be one of the unit's record holders.
Apparently, that's what everyone's told me today. I've delivered the most babies, 702 babies.
The director attributes the birth center's popularity to its modern rooms, its homey feeling, and most importantly, its exceptional staff.
So many of our nurses are all having families of their own. They're really engaged in the work that they do, caring for other women having babies, and that's what people like. It's like being cared for by family.
That's what brought Mike and his wife back for baby number 2, all the way from their home in Lionel Lakes.
It was a long road for him.
And as he stares at his new son,
he's healthy, he's content.
He can't think of any place he'd rather be. In Maple Grove, I'm Cassie Bonstrom, 12 News.
And a few other numbers for you. Maple Grove Hospital has delivered around 10,000 boys and 9,000 girls, and 4 babies have been born outside the hospital. They are on track to deliver about 4,400 babies this year. Mike, that's a lot of babies.
It's a lot of stork visits.
A lot of diapers they have to buy over there. Coming up, a Golden Valley psychologist who helps play the role of Cupid at the state fair.
But first, Champlin Park's volleyball team is ready for a big season. That's coming up in sports with Jay Wilcox. Jay Wilcox with sports, and you could say football came early this year. We're already into the season, and one team has a brand new field.
Yes, this is something that they've been watching the construction while they're practicing for quite a while now, and definitely excited to get out there. Football players, coaches, and parents at Providence Academy have been eagerly awaiting the chance for the team to play on the new artificial turf field in the new stadium at the school in Plymouth. A ribbon-cutting ceremony before their game against Breck dedicated that new stadium. And watch this scramble play. Quarterback Henry Van Dellen dodging tacklers. He turns and lofts it downfield, and Drew Lahr goes up to get it for a 44-yard gain for the Lions. That gainer sets up this play. Van Dellen lofts it to the end zone. Josh Dart laying out makes a great catch just in bounds, and it's 7-0 Providence. Breck tries to answer that score, but the Providence defense steps up. Peter Lillehag's pass deflected. Jackson Baird with the interception to halt the Breck drive. In the second quarter, Van Dellen's pump fake will freeze the defense here. Lahr gets a couple of steps ahead of the defender and hauls it in for a touchdown. That makes it 13-0 Providence. Later in the second quarter, Van Dellen shows his scrambling ability again as he steps around the rush, rolls right, and finds Matt Richelson for 6 more. The Lions go up 20-0 over the Mustangs at halftime. Breck gets on the board in the fourth quarter as Lillehag throws a strike to Davis Kim, but Providence has a successful debut in their new stadium with a 27-6 win. The high school volleyball season is now underway, and Champlin Park returns a strong core of players that should make the Rebels a top squad this fall. Here's Jason Melillo with more.
Champlin Park has probably the best player in the state in junior Sydney Hilly. Also back is senior middle hitter Janae Alderson, defensive specialist Whitney Anderson, and outside hitter Marissa Vattendahl-Vidal. It's a talented and versatile group.
We have 6 people coming back that played last year and 3 freshmen that are filling in spots. I'm really excited because we're so versatile and everyone knows how to play the game.
And that's just helpful for us. We can maybe, if somebody gets hurt, somebody needs to take on a new role, or even just to be able to change things in the middle of a match, give the other team a little bit different look. And they've all been open to that, and I think they enjoy the fact that I'm not stuck doing the same thing all the time, and it kind of makes it more fun for them.
CP made the state tournament last year for the first time since 2001, and after a hard-fought loss in the first round, the Rebels won their next 2 matches to win the consolation championship.
Just kind of that feeling like we could have went farther, but definitely we feel that we accomplished a lot in this season, considering we haven't been to state in a while. So
I was definitely disappointed when we lost to Roseville, but I was really proud of how we bounced back and got 5th. That was our first time going to state in 13 years, so I'm really proud of everyone on the team.
The Rebels will test their mettle right away this season as they open against preseason number 1, Prior Lake. Jason Melillo, 12 Sports.
And that matchup with Prior Lake is part of the big Breakdown Side-Out Classic at Hopkins on Saturday. Well, they've been overshadowed a bit by neighboring schools like Osseo and Champlin Park, but the Maple Grove volleyball team put together a strong season last fall. They're looking for more of the same this year. The Crimson went 22-7 overall and 10-3 in the Northwest Suburban Conference a season ago. 5 players who started at least part-time return. The team is starting to come together as they approach that season opener.
So far we've been doing very well. We've progressed a lot. We had a scrimmage this past Saturday, and it was a little rough for us, but we also had a scrimmage yesterday, and we've already improved a lot since then.
A lot of work to be done. Service, passing, defense in general. We've got some new kids that have come up this year, so they're kind of getting incorporated in the systems that I tend to run with my teams, but overall, very happy with what's going on so far.
Maple Grove's home opener in their newly refurbished gym is Tuesday night against Osseo. As we near the start of school, the season debut for our half-hour weekly high school sports show is coming up. Sports Jam returns with the kickoff for the 2015-2016 school year starting Monday here on Channel 12. John Jacobson and I will have Week 2 highlights from football, plus opening week action in volleyball and soccer. Sports Jam airs each Monday through Wednesday at 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30 p.m. And Labor Day weekend, be sure to watch for our 12 Sports Hall of Fame special as we induct 4 new members. This is the class of 2015. So it's all here and ready to go.
All right, you guys hit the ground running too with the new season. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, Jay. Up next, a Golden Valley psychologist who has helped keep alive a century-old tradition at the State Fair.
We step inside the Tunnel of Love when we come back.
So here's a question. What is your favorite ride at the Minnesota State Fair?
Now, for some people, it's Ye Old Mill, which turns 100 this year. We decided to go for a ride of nostalgia and fun.
I describe it as a very dark, serene, calm tunnel of love.
For a century, Ye Old Mill has been encouraging fairgoers of any age or status to kiss and tell.
As soon as we got in the dark, she took advantage of my easy nature and kissed me when people weren't watching.
Governor loves it. He's been on before, he said. He was telling us little stories of when he was a teenager and, trying to catch a smooch.
I confess that I caught a couple of smooches back there. The ride was always too short when you're a teenager,
But this tunnel of love was just long enough for others.
We had our 43rd wedding anniversary yesterday. We thought this is the best place to be. It's 100 years old. We'll celebrate it and celebrate our anniversary.
Romance aside, the ride is old-fashioned fun.
Well, it was a little bit scary when it started pitch black. It was really fun.
And with 100 years of history, many riders take a float down memory lane every year.
I used to come with my mom and dad and our family, and this was our highlight. Every year tradition.
I think it's a slice of simplicity in a really high-tech world, and I think that it never changes, and there's some comfort in that for people.
Jim Keenan is the 4th generation to operate the mill.
It's just kind of part of my DNA.
Every summer he takes time off from his job in Golden Valley to keep the mill running.
Every year we have at least 1 or 2 engagements. Next Wednesday we have a marriage that's going to be happening on a boat. I had a little bit of Cupid in me, I guess.
Ye Old Mill is a place where fairgoers can take a break from the food and the crowd to step into a quiet, peaceful boat and make a state fair memory.
It doesn't get more romantic than that.
It costs $3.25 to ride on one of the boats on Ye Old Mill. It's located on the southwest corner of Underwood and Carnes. A Brooklyn Park family was the first family to ride it this year. And Mike and Jay, I heard someone got engaged on the first day of the State Fair in the Seed Art Building. And right after that, where do they go? Take a ride, Ye Old Mill. That's what you have to do.
At least once through the mill.
At least once, just to make sure you've done it.
And go back in case.
That's right. That's all the news we have for now, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here again Monday, beginning at 4.